All right, good evening. I had the opportunity today to spend the afternoon with the President. It was a chance not only for the President to see for himself the degree of devastation we're facing as a state, but an opportunity for me to let him know exactly what we need as we move into this next stage of recovery. Now, what we're talking about here is we're moving, as I said yesterday, from the sense that we had that we're happy people are alive, survive this, to now moving into the stage where we want to return normalcy to New Jersey. And we want to try to return normalcy to New Jersey as quickly as we can. Now, we have huge challenges. This is the biggest storm this state has ever faced. And so the challenges that we face are bigger than we've ever faced before. But I am confident that, working together, we're going to be able to confront these challenges and get them defeated pretty soon. I'm asking for patience from New Jerseyans this week because I don't have much, and I need patience from all of you. I'm not going to have patience in this job. I'm not paid to have patience. I'm paid to get things done for all of you, but I need you to have patience as I'm trying to get all these things done. The resilience that I asked you for yesterday to make sure that the sorrow that we all feel at the loss doesn't replace our resilience, I'm going to need from all of you. And I hope that all of you will give me that resilience in return. I'll give you the best effort I can possibly give you to get your lives back to as close to normal as quickly as possible as we can. Good news for all of us is that the President couldn't have been better today. We worked together on the issues while we were on Marine One together, taking the tour. We worked on issues with the FEMA Director, Craig Fugate, while we were riding in the President's truck between stops. He made phone calls for me while we were in the truck to people to make sure they understood the seriousness of the needs we have here in New Jersey, and that he wanted to make sure that there was nothing that we asked for that we didn't get. And whether we had to access Department of Defense assets to get it here, or anything else at the disposal of the federal government, he made it very clear to me today that getting New Jersey back to normal is his top priority. And since it's my top priority too, we had a good day. His commitment to give us the flexibility we need, the resources, and the aid going forward is invaluable as we move into this next phase of the recovery. So rain has stopped, the winds subsided. We need to triage our issues and attack them now that the hurricane has left us behind. First, on power, the good news is that we're moving in the right direction. The number of New Jersey households as of this evening without power is 2,036,823. That's down from our high of just over 2.6 million households. So we're moving in the right direction. But that's clearly not good enough. And I know it's never going to be fast enough until the lights go back on in your house. So this is our number one priority. And today, as the President mentioned in his remarks, restoring power in New Jersey is also his number one priority. Whatever we need in this, we have the support of FEMA to provide the resources to execute this. And we've seen this already. I've been on the phone today with the governors of Alabama, Mississippi, Oklahoma, Ohio, Wisconsin, Massachusetts, Virginia. All of them have said that they are urging their utility companies to send crews and equipment to New Jersey. South Carolina as well, Governor Haley is sending 185 people up as we speak. And so we have an enormously difficult task to perform here in restoring power. The President also committed to getting utility crews and equipment from any place they're available in the nation and having FEMA transport those people and their equipment to this state in order to begin to restore power immediately. Bob Hanna's sole focus over the next number of days is to move these numbers downward and to move them downward quickly. He's been on the phone with each of the utilities assessing what additional resources they need, and so we can provide them along with our partners at FEMA in order to get the job done. Now, I'm honored and sincerely grateful to all my colleagues, governors across the country. Let me also say, as I'm remembering here, Governor LePage in Maine has agreed to urge people to be sent from Maine, and Governor Haslam in Tennessee as well. We have commitments from all those states to send servicemen, tree clearers, equipment, and trucks to work with our utility companies, some of which are on their way now. The more manpower and equipment on the ground, the faster we can move. In the meantime, as that's working, generators. We have over 100 generators from FEMA at Lakehurst, and we've developed a list of key facilities: water treatment plants, wastewater facilities, and hospitals who need generators. They are being distributed as we speak by FEMA personnel across the state, so that water treatment facilities, wastewater treatment facilities, and hospitals will have the generation power they'll need until full power is restored by the utility companies. I specifically spoke with the President and Craig Fugate today for their assistance in moving those generators immediately. They didn't hesitate, directly conveyed their order that these generators get deployed tonight to our places on the ground by our regional FEMA representative. He has done that, and it's in the process of happening now, and that will help us to make sure that everyone's going to have clean water, and we can begin to safely operate the wastewater treatment facilities that did not have backup generation power themselves. Next, diesel fuel. All of these generators running around the state, the ones that we already have and the ones that we're putting up, need diesel fuel to run on them. We needed more diesel fuel and gasoline to get these trucks around, and because gas stations are closed and there's no power, it's impossible for us to be providing this. FEMA, again, has come forward at the order of the President with over 500,000 gallons of diesel fuel that will be delivered here in the next 24 hours, distributed in 3 different places around the state for generators and for trucks that need to be fueled in order to continue the work of restoring power in the state. I also waived licensing requirements to make it easier to meet our fuel needs. Treasury officials were instructed to waive licensing requirements that affect merchants' ability to buy fuel from out-of-state suppliers. I don't want bureaucratic red tape to be holding up our ability to get this done. So the first thing is power, both permanent and temporary. I think we're moving in the right direction, and we're going to have more of this available in terms of more generators available from McGuire Air Force Base that are being flown in here at the direction of the President, and more fuel available as well as needed. Secondly, our roads. We're working to clear our roads as quickly as possible. Commissioner Simpson is deploying all his assets and over 800 staffers to open state roads to help ensure utility crews can get where they're needed and ensure safer driving conditions. We've asked FEMA for assistance in coordinating with debris removal companies they contract with to help facilitate the process. Since Sunday night, DOT has responded to 463 road closings. As of now, all but 20 of those road closings have been resolved. Great job by Jim Simpson and the hardworking men and women at DOT to have that down to 20 roads. All downed trees have been removed from the roadways with the exception of those that involve down power lines. NJDOT is not allowed to take them down when they involve down power lines. But they're working with the utility companies to target these locations for prompt attention so we can resolve these final 20 road closures due to down power lines. I've instructed Commissioner Simpson, as soon as we've cleared all the state roads, to then offer DOT assets for road clearing to each of New Jersey's counties to make sure that if they still have county roads that are not cleared, we can use state DOT assets to clear those county roads. We're taking an inventory of traffic signals. Heather, how many traffic signals in New Jersey? Tremendous, tremendous, 15,500. And we're targeting signals that require repairs or complete replacement. So we're moving towards getting New Jersey's roads clear. I know that a lot of local roads are still jammed up. We're working with municipalities on that. We're going to have a little patience because their resources are less, but once we get these 20 remaining state roads cleared, then we'll be able to divert state assets to clear county and municipal roadways and assist in that regard. Third thing we need, beside power and open roads, is clean water. Obviously, we need to make sure that our communities have access to clean water so that people can return to their homes and to a sense of normalcy. Power outages are creating a challenge, which is why we want people to be on the lookout for boiled water advisories, which have been issued for 12 of our drinking systems. As we work to get power back on, delivering fuel and generators to our water treatment facilities is a priority and is being done, as I mentioned earlier. The most important thing we can do right now for everyone is conserving water. To that end, I'm signing an executive order tonight which establishes mandatory statewide water use restrictions. Some key restrictions we need folks to pay attention to. Prohibits outdoor washing of pavements, except for health or safety reasons. Prohibits lawn and landscape watering. Prohibits outdoor washing of cars. And also, please, it's just a common sense rule, be mindful of the amount of water you're using right now. Don't leave the faucets running. Maybe take a little bit of a shorter shower. You know, do things to help conserve water while we're trying to get power back on. Once power is back on, then folks will be able to use water more liberally because we'll have our water facilities back up and running at full strength, not just at generator power. But with the generators, we're going to be able to ensure that clean water is available for folks. Let's just not overuse it, and that's why I'm signing that executive order tonight to put in mandatory statewide water use restrictions. Fourth, we need folks to begin to interact with FEMA regarding both individual public assistance and business assistance as well. So we're working to bring on board an outside group to be 100% dedicated and focused to working with FEMA on preparing and filing paperwork as it pertains to clean up the mess we have here in New Jersey, both for our government entities and for individuals. We've executed a contract with a company that worked with Mississippi during Hurricane Katrina and a number of other states and other natural disasters. Executed that today. They'll be working with and will be offered to individual municipalities and counties to help work their paperwork with FEMA to make sure that they're getting and asking for the right type of assistance and get as full reimbursement from the federal government as they possibly can. We need to move fast and efficiently here, so we can do that by bringing in experts who work consistently with FEMA on this process. The smart thing to do, and we're doing it. Also, beginning right now, people can start registering for assistance. I believe by no later than Friday, and it might be earlier, we'll have FEMA offices set up in all the affected counties and a statewide FEMA office where people can come and visit and ask questions. In the meantime, you don't have to wait to register if you've been affected. Call 1-800-621-FEMA, F-E-M-A, 1-800-621-FEMA. They will take all the information over the phone from you. If you don't have phone access but you have web access, you can go to disasterassistance.gov, and you can register online as well at disasterassistance.gov. If you have a telephone, it's easy, 1-800-621-FEMA. They'll walk you through some simple questions. They'll get you registered, and then FEMA representatives will be out to your home to assess your damage, or out to your business to assess your damage, so that FEMA money can begin to flow to individuals quickly. And as I said, within 48 hours, we'll have these FEMA disaster recovery centers set up in every impacted county. It may be sooner. We'll have more information on this on an ongoing basis, as there will likely be more counties added on to the disaster declaration. We're working with FEMA on that as well. So it's very important. You should not be hopeless. You should not feel like you're alone. If you need temporary assistance to be able to get a place to stay, all those things are things that FEMA can help with for people who have been affected by the storm. 1-800-621-FEMA. Call there, get the registration process going, and they can begin to help you both with cash assistance and with assessments on your home and the damages done to your home. Fifth priority for us to undertake here is rebuilding. This will be the next phase. Once we deal with the immediate post-storm aftermath, we start to return the state to some sense of day-to-day normalcy. We need to work on rebuilding. I want to be clear that this will be the longest phase of our recovery from this storm. I'm confident we can rebuild, that we will rebuild, and we'll rebuild together. I showed the President today places along the Jersey Shore that, you know, it's just unbelievable to see the boardwalk in Point Pleasant just gone, to see boardwalks in other small towns just lifted up and thrown 3 or 4 blocks down away from the ocean, to see 2/3 of the beach eroded and disappeared. Now, there's some places at the shore who were not hurt that badly, and we're grateful for that, but there are others that were significantly damaged. And we need to rebuild. And we need to help those folks who want to rebuild at the shore to rebuild. And I was in Sayreville today, and I want to tell you that it's heartbreaking to see the things that are going on in Sayreville. These folks have now endured 3 storms in the last 3 years. The 2010 spring rainstorm that we had that flooded them in Sayreville, Hurricane Irene in 2011, and now Hurricane Sandy in 2012. We saw, Lieutenant Governor and I saw foundations caved in underneath homes. One woman who had a basement apartment, and you opened her door, and you could only walk down 2 steps, and then the rest was all filled with water, like a swimming pool. It's awful stuff. That's not only happened at the Jersey Shore, but happened in places like Sayreville. Tomorrow I'll be going up to Bergen and Hudson County areas to be able to visit those areas, like Moonachie and Little Ferry and Hoboken, others in that area, Kearney, that has experienced some significant flooding. I want to meet with local officials there and get a look for myself as to what they're confronting as well. So we've had a lot of suffering around the state in that regard. But all those things, and I don't want to seem Pollyanna about this, but all those things can be rebuilt. And we're going to work together to rebuild them. I'm still gratified that we've had such relatively little loss of life, given that this was the most powerful and serious storm in the state's history. I'm never going to use the phrase 100-year storm again, because we've had 3 of those 300-year storms in the past 3 years, so I think that's all baloney. But what I do know is that this is certainly the most powerful storm that this state has ever had to endure. And when I was with the president today at the shelter in Brigantine, I can't tell you how many folks came up to me and said, "Really sorry, Governor, we should have listened to you." Some of the rescues from Brigantine were harrowing. People going in boats in 5 and 6 feet deep water to go and get loved ones out of their homes. Met a 95-year-old woman today who got rescued in a boat. You know, that kind of stuff should be avoidable, so I hope folks in the future, when we tell you you should get off, get out, get someplace safe, that you do that. We're lucky that more people didn't die as a result of folks ignoring those warnings. Lastly, I think it's important to note once again how vital the presence of the president was today. For him to be able to see this stuff personally, for him to be able to hear from me directly about what the state's been going through, and then for him to be willing to respond in the way that he did, strongly, directly, in providing the resources to the people of New Jersey that we need, was very gratifying. And so I said this to him before he left, but I'll say it again publicly. I thank him for his caring and his interest in our state and its people, and I look forward to continuing to work with him over the next number of days and weeks as we make our way through this portion of the recovery and onto the rebuilding stage. I should mention to you that I also mentioned to him our desire to work with the Army Corps of Engineers to begin to rebuilding our beaches. And that was another issue that he said he would take up as well. So it was a productive day for me. It was a productive day for the people of New Jersey. I think it was an instructive day for the president, and I think he appreciated the time that he spent here with us, and we got to spend a lot of good time together talking about these issues. So people in New Jersey, we're moving in the right direction. We know we have a lot of work to do. I know you're not going to be happy until I get your lights turned on. We're working on doing that as quickly as we possibly can, and we're going to work together to rebuild our state in a way that's going to make us even prouder than we are already about where we live. I'm certainly proud of being the governor of a state with the kind of tough and resilient people that I've been meeting over the last couple of days, who I know will get through this storm in a way that will make all of us proud.